Game 6 of the 1977 World Series between the Dodgers and the Yankees, with the Yankees leading 3 games to 2. Yankee Stadium in New York City. And to throw out the ceremonial first pitch, the roar for the Yankee clipper, Joe DiMaggio.
There's Joe. Yankees of today still in awe of the clipper, Keith.
As a player and as a man. The umpires for tonight's game, John McSherry of the National League back at the plate. He lives right here in the Bronx. Nestor Shylock of the American League first base. Ed Sudol, National League second base. Larry McCoy, American League third base. Left field line, Jerry Dale, National League. Right field line, Jim Evans, American League. Dimensions of the ballpark: left field foul pole 312, left center 430, center field 417, right center 385, right field foul pole, the short porch 310. The Dodger lineup this way.
Davy Lopes will be leading off for the Dodgers, playing second, of course. Batting second, the man who found himself in the most recent World Series game, Bill Russell, started a hit. Batting third, the ever-dangerous Reggie Smith, fleet-footed slugger. Ron Say, of course, the consistent home run hitter. He's 3 for 18 on the series. This fellow you got to watch. 7 out of 20 on the series, Steve Garvin. And after him, Dusty Baker, the power man, too, with 6 out of 20 on the series. And then Rick Monday, who's only 1 of 8 on the series. And after him, the young man talked about in the pregame show, Steve Yeager, hero in the most recent World Series game, Bert Hooton, the knuckleball curver who stopped the Yankees dead here at Yankee Stadium in game number 2.
Setting the Yankee defense, Lou Piniella, who's had a very fine series, both offensively and defensively. In center field, it is the speedster, Mickey Rivers, a very important figure in tonight's game for the Yankees. In right field, 2 home runs now in the World Series of '77, Reggie Jackson. The inner defense is the same as we've seen it. Steady Greg Nettles is over at third base. Feeling fine now. No ache in his shoulder at shortstop. It is Bucky Dent. The infield here at Yankee Stadium, you got to know it to play it well. He does. At second base, outstanding young ball player Willie Randolph. Steady as they come. At first base, Chris Chambliss, whose bat has been rather quiet through the series, but look out anytime. And back at the plate tonight, doing the catching, the captain of the Yankees, Thurman Munson. And on the mound, the big right-hander Mike Torres. He won the ball game, game 3, by a score of 5-3. He allowed only 7 hits. He struck out season high of 9. It was only in the 3rd inning of the ball game that he got in trouble when Smith singled, Garvey singled, and then with a 2-out home run by Dusty Baker. That was really the only mistake he made in that ball game. The 9 strikeouts, as I said, high for the year. He was consistently over 90 miles an hour with his fastball in winning game number 3. And Billy Martin there is confident he's the man to have on the mound tonight.
Tommy Lasorda, pensive, but in his own way confident. Saw his team win when it had to. On Sunday, he's confident they can win when they have to tonight.
Now, as Davy Lopes walks to the plate, once again, Tom Seaver.
Well, I think as I was saying in the pregame show, Keith, it's what the Dodgers established, that they did have momentum, and they established it by being able to go to the opposite field. The Dodgers, prior to this, have been up there trying to hit the ball. A hitter, try to pull the ball. A hitter is much easier to pitch to if he tries to pull the ball. And especially here in Yankee Stadium, great big Yankee Stadium. If the Dodgers try and pull the ball, I think, tonight, they might well be back on a plane heading for L.A. before midnight.
Davy Lopes takes the first pitch from big Mike Torres, who signed for $20,000 out of Topeka, Kansas. Ball 1 high and inside, and Lopes goes for pitch number 2, doesn't get it, and it's 1-1. Davy, 3 for 20 with 1 home run, and Torres starts out the game at 91 miles an hour on the jugs gun. That's feet on the ground, right to the shortstop, Bucky Dent, for out number 1. This Yankee crowd will be roaring all night long with every single out.
Well, they know they can win it right here. They get a world championship with one more game.
Bill Russell, the Dodger shortstop, Reggie Smith on deck. Russell now 4 for 23 with 2 runs batted in. And a curveball bites the corner, strike one. Hit toward Willie Randolph, the second baseman. 2 out.
Tom, do you prefer 4, working every 4th day or every 5th day?
I work every 5th day. I work with 4 days rest.
Because Mike prefers working in rotation, and he doesn't mind working on 3 days rest.
He's a little bit different pitcher than I am. He's a sinker ball pitcher where I'm a riding fastball pitcher.
Reggie Smith swings and misses on a high fastball. A 2-run home run in game number 2. A 2-run home run in game number 5 for Reggie Smith. He has a total of 4 runs batted in, 5 for 18. Hits it toward the left side. Big bounce, Dent knocks it down. He'll have no play. Waiting on the official scorers to call it. Looked like if he'd handled it cleanly, he would have had a play. They call it error on the shortstop.
They don't want Reggie. They want to keep Reggie off the bases because he's so much more effective as a left-hand batter than a right-hand batter. And Torres pitched it well. Bucky should have had the play.
Ron Say now, cleanup hitter, is at the plate with 2 out. Reggie Smith on first and Steve Garvey on deck. And the pitch is outside for ball 1. Preston Gomez coaches at third for the Dodgers. Jim Gilliam at first. Red Adams is the pitching coach. Swing, it is foul. No, I don't know if it was fouled or not. Reggie Smith canters on down to second, so apparently it was not fouled away. I heard a big clunk. I guess it came off Thurman Munson's chest protector or mask.
2 Yankee defensive mistakes in the first inning. They had not made an error in the entire series until Sunday's game when they made 2 costly ones, one by Piniella, one by Nettles. That led to the Yankees zooming to a 5-0 lead instead of perhaps the Dodgers zooming to a 5-0 instead of perhaps a 2-0 lead.
Pass ball charged to Thurman Munson. Error on the shortstop. Pass ball. Say looks. It is low. Ball 2. 2-1 now with Smith at second base. We have come from summer weather to winter, or almost to winter weather, certainly autumnal, where the temperature going into the 40s tonight. Say looks. It is low. 3-1. Incidentally, the Dodgers with 8 home runs, just 1 short of the team record of 9 set back in 1955 when Duke Snider hit 4. Low, ball 4. 2 Dodgers aboard. Now, Steve Garvey. In my opinion, Tom Seaver, key man in a pressure ball game like this, because he does have the patience to ride the ball normally where it's pitched.
Well, he was a much different hitter in Los Angeles on Sunday. I really do think that part of the Dodgers' problem when they first came in here, they tried to hit the ball out of the ballpark. I was down talking to them before the game, and they kind of talked among themselves. It wasn't a clubhouse meeting, but Garvey clearly established that he would go to right field Sunday in Dodger Stadium.
Low, ball 1.
Which I might add is a jet propulsion center in the daytime. Hit the ball and it carries.
Popeye can hit it out anywhere, though, with those massive forearms, as Smith leads at second and Say leads at first. And the pitch to Garvey. Low, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Dusty Baker is on deck.
Torres is in trouble, not really of his own making. The error by Dent opened the door. The pass ball by Munson added to it. And then Torres himself did add to it with the base on balls to say.
Ball is hit down the right field line. It'll go to the corner. Here comes Reggie Smith around second base. He'll score. Ron Say is turning third. He's coming to the plate. Here's the Vino relay as Steve Garvey goes all the way to third base, and the Dodgers lead 2-0.
Well, that's just what Tom Seaver said. Going to right field. And the Yankees continue to pitch him outside when the buck of most scouts is, especially in a ballpark like this, as we look at it again. Steve hitting it to the right side. The book is pitch Garvey in.
On that pitch, you see Smith scoring that ball, and then Reggie getting it down in the right field corner. Ron Say, of course, scoring on the triple as well. That ball, Steve, went right with the pitch. You saw Thurman set up outside, and he went right with it. That's the pitch that those hitters, the Dodger hitters, were trying to pull before. And if you try and pull that pitch, it's a long fly ball to center field or left center field.
Dusty Baker up there, 6 for 20 in the series. He has 1 homer. He has 5 runs batted in. And Mike Torres now down in the ball game, 2-0. Has a man at third in Garvey, and he is now at 2-0, and consistently has been low and away. Again, he is low and away. Go back to that point I made, as you see Billy Martin, that the last time we had a 6-game World Series was 1959 when the Dodgers beat the White Sox. It's a long time ago. There's one. It's 3-1 now to Dusty Baker with Rick Mundy on deck.
He was 3-1 to Say, and now he's 3-1 here to Baker, and you'll watch Dusty really spin if he gets his pitch.
Fouls it off, and it's full of 3-2.
That pitch is outside, and he tried to pull the ball. Now, that's exactly what the Dodgers can't do. That pitch has got to be hit to right center. If he hits that ball well and does pull it, there's no way that he can pull it out of the ballpark. Torres made a good pitch on the outside part of the plate. You've got to go with that pitch.
Dick Titro is in the Yankee bullpen. There he is. Bullpens are covered because people were throwing things down in there the other night. They put a cover on it. Called him out on a fastball thrown through at the letters. But the Dodgers used an error, a fastball, a walk, and a triple by Steve Garvey as you see Baker go down swinging, and they jump out to a 2-0 lead. They got the 2 runs on 1 hit. 2-0 Dodgers, the Yankees coming up.
Here's the Yankees starting lineup. Mickey Rivers, center field. He's 4 for 23 in the series. Steady going Willie Randolph is 4 for 21. Thurman Munson comes into the series like Garvey with 7 hits out of 21 turns at bat. Reggie Jackson having a good series, 6 of 17. Chris Chambliss, well, he hasn't had that good a series, but still he's 5 for 20. And Greg Nettles, 4 for 17. He's been struggling. Lou Piniella has been a consistent hitter, 6 of 19. And Bucky Dent has surprised at the plate, really, with 5 for 17. Pitcher, of course, is Mike Torres, hurt by the error in the fastball in the first inning that led to 2 Dodger runs. Keep the defense.
Both runs unearned. In left field for Los Angeles, Dusty Baker. He's had the only Dodger error. In center field tonight with the right-hander pitching, it is Rick Mundy hitting from the left side. In right field, Reggie Smith with the right-hander pitching. He also goes from the power side, his power side, to the left. The inner defense, the Penguin Ron Say is at third base. At shortstop, it'll be Bill Russell. And over at second base, the whippet for the Dodgers, the man they need on base, Davy Lopes, the top of the order, and the man who delivered the triple a moment ago for the 2 unearned runs, Steve Garvey. Back of the plate, big 3-run homer for him on Sunday, Steve Yeager. And on the mound, Bert Hooton won the game 6-1 here at New York, game number 2. The only real pressure he had put on him was Randolph single, Munson single, Jackson with a double play to get him the New York run. In the 4th and 5th innings, only time the Yankees were able to put any pressure on him in game number 2. Now the top of the order for the Yankees. Mickey Rivers, Willie Randolph, and Thurman Munson. In game number 3 in Los Angeles was Mickey Rivers' most productive outing. Hits the ball high in the air to the left side, and it's drifting toward the crowd, but Baker goes right to the line, tumbles into the crowd, and makes the catch.
Great catch. The Dodgers with that 2 runs in the bank, obviously alive and well, up for the occasion.
Watch Baker now as he goes right to the wall. The fence is low there. It is also padded. He can afford to bump it, reaches, and then goes almost into somebody's lap. He'll take it. 1 out. And the pitch to Randolph from Bert Hooton is low ball 1. Low ball 2. I would imagine it was comforting for Bert to note the rotation of the umpires in the series to see if the National League ump would be back at the plate tonight.
It's amazing. John McSherry is probably one of the few umpires in the National League that you might consider even to be a high ball umpire. He's a big man. He must weigh about 260 pounds. He's probably 6'6", and he'll call more high strikes than almost any other National League umpire.
3-1 the count now on Willie Randolph with Thurman Munson in the on-deck circle. 2-0 Dodgers on 2 unearned runs. Russell flags it down. Ball was struck sharply and throws out Randolph. I noticed last week when the Dodgers were here in the second game that Bill Russell was out there for 20 minutes early with Jim Gillian just hitting one ground ball after another, working that entire shortstop area because it's a little bit different here. Ball tends to carom or bounce to the right every time because it slants that way.
Slants down. Bucky Dent spent almost a half hour explaining the infield lie to Keith the other day when we were here to start the series.
Thurman Munson. Low, ball 1. Munson has hit safely in 9 straight games in the World Series, including last year. He has been brilliant in handling the New York pitching. A roller toward the shortstop, Russell. Russell almost pulled it down the line and pulled Garvey off the bag, but Steve able to handle. We played 1 inning. The Dodgers lead the Yankees 2-0. The Dodgers jump on top 2-0. As we go now to the top of the second inning, this telecast presented by authority of Major League Baseball, intended solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of Major League Baseball prohibited. The bottom third of the order now for Los Angeles: Rick Monday, center fielder; Steve Yeager, the catcher; and then Bert Houghton, the pitcher, the designated hitter, not being used this year in the World Series. Rick Monday 1 for 8 in the World Series. On the ground to Chambliss at first base. Waves Torres away and makes the play himself. 1 gone. Conversation about Torres and rest between starts. 3 days, won 5 and lost 3. You can see better at 3 days between pitching than any other way.
We had a Monday night game in Baltimore. You may remember, Keith, the Yankees against the Birds. We were with Mike that day. He was due to pitch that night. He made that very point.
Fouled off by Steve Yeager, 6 for 16, 2 home runs and 5 runs batted in, and the commissioner with the eternal phone in his hand.
Not only that, wearing a sweater, not a top coat, and he's properly garbed. There's Bert Houghton on deck.
Circle. The count, 1 strike to Steve Yeager with 1 out and nobody on, and the Dodgers on top 2-0. That pitch is low.
You know the thing, Keith, about so many days rest, 3 days rest or 4 days rest, you get down and you talk to a pitching coach, you talk to a Red Adams about his pitchers.
Ball is foul.
And it gets so fine to the point where he'll say, well, he's pitching with 3 days rest, which means that he's pitching on the 4th day. But he's going from a day game to a night game, which means 4 or 5 extra hours of rest. Or he's going from a night game to a day game. And all those things, go into the makeup of a pitching coach, helping the manager decide who's going to be the best pitcher on a certain day. Should you pitch him on a Wednesday or wait because we're playing a day game and pitch him on Thursday? All those things, that's one of the things that a pitching coach does in helping a manager.
1 ball and 2 strikes now to Steve Yeager with 1 out. Swing and a miss and 2 out. The man who will get the call tomorrow night in Game 7 for Los Angeles, lefty Tommy John.
I might add that Tom Seaver is studying pitching all over again. They've reissued Christy Mathewson's 1912 book, Pitching in a Pinch, and Tommy is paying close attention to it. Learning how to throw the fadeaway and the drop.
The drop. Still trying to learn the drop.
Bert Houghton, the pitcher, at the plate, hits the ball to right field, short right. Reggie Jackson comes in, makes the catch, and Mike Torres gets the Dodgers in order in the top of the second inning. So after an inning and a half, the score, Los Angeles 2, New York nothing. Bottom of the second inning for the Yankees. Middle of the order, Reggie Jackson, Chris Chambliss, Greg Nettles, 3 tough left-handed outs. The Mayors, Tom Radler from Los Angeles, Mayor Abraham Beam of New York on the right. And Mayor Tom's all bundled up, isn't he? Not used to this 56-degree weather.
80 degrees out in L.A.
Yeah.
Don't blame him.
What colors here, though? The leaves turning. The beauty of autumn. Tom Seaver, Southern California, now comfortably ensconced in a rebuilt barn in Connecticut and loving every minute.
Went for a nice long walk in the woods today with my 2 dogs.
Can't get in the house, huh?
She kicked me out. I can't get back in. I don't have a key.
Reggie up now to face Bert Hooton. The pitch is high. Two balls and no strikes. Three balls and no strikes.
Mike Torres and Thurman Munson sitting side by side in the Yankee dugout. That last pitch was an interesting pitch. He got behind Reggie 2-0, still throwing the knuckle curveball.
Ball 4. In game number 2, when Hooton beat the Yankees, Jackson struck out looking, hit into a double play, struck out swinging, hit a fly ball to center.
Well, the Yankees have their own feelings about Hooton, having seen him once. Tom and I with the Yankee super scout, Bertie Tebbetts, whose thesis is, you just go with the pitch. Don't try to overpower.
Chris Chambliss. Low, ball 1. So Bert Hooton now has thrown 5 pitches in the inning. He has yet to put one in the strike zone. Dodgers lead 2-0 on a pair of unearned runs at the top of the first inning. There is one of those high strikes Tom Seaver talked about.
Very good, Keith. Excellent. That strike, a lot of umpires in the National League, you won't get that as a strike. It'll be too high.
1-1 to Chambliss. Jackson off first. Bluffs and doesn't go. Low and away, ball 2.
I've made this point several times now during this World Series that a pitcher cannot get behind hitters. Got behind Reggie Jackson 3-0. He's behind 2-1 here. You cannot get behind good hitters and get away with it.
Hit deep to right center field. Way back.
Goodbye. Forget it. Just as Tom Seaver made the point, don't get behind.
Well, I'm sure we'll see that replay, but I've got to make a point here. He was 3-0, 2-0 to Reggie Jackson. He threw the knuckle curveball for ball 3. He got behind Chris Chambliss here and came in with a fastball, a low fastball. You cannot pitch behind in the major leagues. I just can't say it enough because it's such a basic principle of pitching. You cannot give good hitters like Chris Chambliss or Jackson the upper hand.
Another look as the ball sails into the seats off Chambliss' bat. Red Adams to the mound to talk with the pitcher. Bert Hooton and Elias Sosa is up in the bullpen, and Jackson
Reggie's reaction, Keith. Jubilation.
He's got 2 fingers up. He says,
Right.
That's 2 runs right there.
Inside, quickly, nobody out, bottom of the second. And the history of Bert Hooton has been, it's documented, that he does not often have consecutively good back-to-back performances. That's Sosa working in the Dodger bullpen.
Tom Lasorda can't fiddle around. He can't wait for a pitcher to find his groove. Knocked down 3 games to 2 in game number 6. Now they've cleaned up some of the debris, the banners or whatever it was that came floating out onto the field, the streamers, and the pitch now to Greg Nettles is low, ball one. Remember in Philadelphia when Bert didn't get a couple of calls right for him, he came unglued. Said
really
it would never happen again. Sharp shot, Garvey glove. Off the bat of Nettles, pulled it sharply, makes the put out. That's the first out of the inning.
That was against the Philadelphia pitcher Christensen, who was at the plate at the time. Hooten thought he had him struck out. The umpire said no. And then he walked Christensen, and then the next three batters. Sauter had no recourse but to take him out.
Red Adams there in the dugout, the pitching coach, talking with the manager, Tom Lasorda. The batter is Lou Piniella, up for the first time. Piniella 6 for 19 with 2 runs batted in. He swings and fouls it away. He had a single in 3 trips against Bert Hooten in game number 2. High fly ball. Reggie Smith, right fielder, makes the catch in short right center. 2 out. Yankee shortstop, Bucky Dent now at the plate. A 2-2 ball game. Chambliss long home run at 385 and then some with Jackson aboard. Dent had a single in 3 trips against Hooten. First time he looked at it. That pitch thrown to the hands, out of the strike zone. Bucky took a cut, didn't get it.
It's the best knuckle curveball he's had all night. That one really dropped off the table. There's another one, same thing. Ground ball down to Davy Lope.
Inning is over for the Yankees, but it's a big inning for them. Chambliss, 2-run homer, and we're all even at 2 at the end of 2.
Well, you'll see this pitch by Bert Hooten. The pitch he's having trouble getting over so far in the ball game. This is the first pitch he made to Bucky Dent, the knuckle curveball. Now watch the action on this. It's a dandy. Boom, just a total defensive swing that he had. That was the best knuckle curve that he's had since the game started.
So Bert Hooten reflecting in the Los Angeles dugout, sitting alongside Rick Mundy as the top of the Dodger order will come to the plate now in the top of the 3rd inning. Davy Lopes, Billy Russell, and Reggie Smith.
You might say that the Yankees now have grabbed that momentum back to their side. LA has got an excellent chance to get it right back. They've got the top of their lineup coming up right here in the top of the 3rd.
Torres is low and away, ball 1 to Davy Lopes, who grounded to the shortstop, Bucky Dent, first time up. Fouls that pitch away for strike 1, 1-1. Lopes has stolen 2 bases in the series. It's a high pop out of play. New York has 1 stolen base, that from Mickey Rivers. Neither team has run that much. Opportunity has not been there, really.
Funny thing about that, Martin has a reputation as a venturesome gambling manager, but his bosses call him a conservative manager, particularly Gabe Paul.
Fouled off.
And he is indeed just that.
Might again make the point, too, that the New York Yankees are in the World Series and went through the playoffs with 24 players instead of the normal 25. That was because of the Carlos May trade to California in the 16th of September. They were not allowed to replace him on the roster.
Whitey Herzog said they could have May back.
Big gap in right center field defensively for Lopes. He can punch it out there. He can run a while. 2-2 the count. Low and away, 3-2.
You can be sure he doesn't want to lose Davy Lopes. Yet he's in danger of doing just that.
Hits the ball, flag by Torres. Whoa, Mike throws it on a bounce to Chambliss. 1 out. The simplest kind of a little play. Got to be careful or it'll get away.
Did you see that replay? Now I think that really showed what I was talking about, a hitter's trying to pull the ball. Now that ball was on the outside part of the plate. Davey was trying to pull the ball. When you do those things, you hit a lot of pop flies, you hit a lot of weak ground balls.
Bill Russell, career high during the regular season in batting at .278, rolls it to Bucky Dent, 2 down. Well, I'll tell you this, the Dodgers aren't looking long at Mike Torres, are they?
The right fielder, Reggie Smith.
How about that? That's a nifty amount.
Also a record.
Tom would take that to buy furniture for the barn.
Breaking pitch is inside and low to Reggie Smith. Got aboard on Dent's error, moved to second on Munson's pass ball, scored when Garvey tripled. Swing and a miss.
Now, we talked about the importance of these two guys, the leadoff hitters, Lopes and Russell. Now, the reason being, obviously, you look at Reggie Smith up at the plate right now. He's up with nobody on base.
High drive. That's
Good play. That's way out of here.
Monster home run by Reggie Smith, and the Dodgers are back on top, 3-2.
Let's take the one into your last
Smith,
match.
batting left-handed, ladies and gentlemen, where he seems to be at least doubly more effective, though the batting averages don't show it. Batting left he has against batting right. Tremendous hitter from the left side, and he's becoming a tremendous force in this World Series. Had a big day Sunday. Peter O'Malley, son of Waller O'Malley, now running the ball club. Here is the pitch by Torres again.
Right in his wheelhouse. I mean, that is right down the old poop chute, and goodbye. You couldn't put it on a tee better than that for Reggie Smith.
So the momentum that Tom's been talking about goes right back to the Dodgers.
And the batter is Ron Say, the cleanup hitter. Strike on the outside corner. It was a high strike.
Interesting stats. 5 runs, only 3 base hits. Remember, the first 2 Dodger runs were unearned.
Torres walked Say back in the first inning. Inside and high. The score is now 3-2 Los Angeles. Top of the 3rd.
There he is. Leads the series in home runs with 3. Feeling pretty good.
Pull to the hole. Flag by Nettles. Can't pick it up.
He almost had a play on that. Greg made a good stop. I don't think Dent would have been able to get Say in the hole.
Well, he's got some golden gloves in his closet or on his mantle.
He'd have scrapped that ball. He knocks it down and turns around. It'll be right out in front of him. If he'd have picked it up on the first jab, like right there, he still might have a play, but he misses that one. Whoop. He would have had a play, I think, if he'd been able to pick that one up.
Base hit. 3rd of the game for the Dodgers. 3-2 Los Angeles on Reggie Smith's solo home run. Ron Say is on first. Steve Garvey, who tripled home 2 runs, his first time up.
He's the guy who's piling up the hits. Leads all hitters with 8 hits now in the series.
Torres curves him outside.
He said on Sunday there had not been a dominant hitter in the series in terms of numbers of base hits. Talked about Brock and Richardson with 13 apiece in 68 and 64.
That home run, incidentally, by Reggie Smith ties the all-time Dodger record for the series. Set in 1955, the series in which Duke Snider struck 4. And they're talking now, obviously, to the bullpen as Yogi Berra hangs up, and we'll have some action back there with Garvey fouling it away. There's the man in the pen, Dick Tidrow. Second time Dick has been up. He got up back in the first inning when Mike was in trouble. 2 out here. Garvey hits it deep to center. Rivers backs up, may have some room. Does. At the track, makes the catch. So the Dodgers regained the lead in the top of the 3rd, 3-2 on Reggie Smith's home run. From the helicopter, this picture of Yankee Stadium on this October 18th, 1977. And the Dodgers lead the Yankees by a score of 3-2 in game number 6, trying to take it through 7 games. The Dodgers in the first inning, Smith reached on an error, Say walked, Garvey tripled, Dodgers led it 2-0. Yankees second, Jackson walked, Chambliss homered 2-2. Dodger third, Smith home run, Dodgers 3-2. And Mike Torres up for the first time at the plate, swings and misses for strike 1 with Mickey Rivers on deck and Willie Randolph to follow.
That was Hooten's fastest pitch, 92 miles per hour. Tom Seaver's consistently emphasized from the very first pitch, you can't get behind the hitters. Through 2 innings, Hooten has not had a count of more than 1 strike on any hitter. That's the first time, 2 strikes.
And he does it against the opposing pitcher.
Natural.
No pity for us weak hitters.
Struck him out. That's 1. And now Burt will have to work his way through the man at the top of the Yankee batting order now, Mickey Rivers, and then Willie Randolph. Rivers fouled out to Dusty Baker, who tumbled into the seats to make the catch, lead the game. Beats it on the ground, foul. Keep talking about rain being in the offing, but so far we haven't seen any, thank goodness. Let's hope you don't.
Might get some tomorrow, they say. Huh? Might have thunder showers tomorrow.
Thunder showers? Too cold for thunder showers.
Oh, stop, Keith.
You
Just
know what
because
that
you're in
means,
the
too.
east. Nice autumn weather.
That pitch is low. 1-1 to Mickey Rivers with 1 out and nobody on. Sure was pretty looking out the window today at Central Park with the leaves starting to turn. I'll admit it. Ball is fouled off to the left side, out of play.
I'll take 2 of mustard only, please.
That's merciless. I haven't had a chance to eat. Pitch is high. 2-2. Hot dog never tasted anywhere like it does at a ballpark. You're brainwashed by it, I guess. It's fouled right back here.
Oh.
2 balls and 2 strikes. With 1 out and nobody aboard. That's toward Davy Lopes, the second baseman. Guns it to first, you've got 2 down. It was on a cold, windy, and wet day
Willie
in
Randolph.
Chicago at Wrigley Field in 1972 in April that Burt Hooten threw his no-hitter against the Phillies.
Well, that won't happen tonight.
Cold weather doesn't bother him. Willie Randolph takes the ball inside. Ball 2.
That's been part of Bert's problem here tonight. The knuckle curveball has not been able to get it over for a strike, and that one was way high.
There's one.
There's that high strike
That's a
I
high
was talking
strike.
about.
That's right, from McSherry.
John McSherry, the umpire, will give you, you still get the low pitch, but you'll get more high strikes from him than you will most other National League umpires.
Burt might escape with his breaking pitch high, too, because he does throw it hard. High fly ball. Davy Lopes drifting back into short center. Rick Mundy coming in, and Rick balls him off and makes the catch, and the Yankees are going in order in the bottom of the 3rd inning. So we've traveled 3 innings of play in the score. The Dodgers 3, the Yankees 2.
The great sports artist, Leroy Neiman. He did that great mural of the Montreal Olympics. Many of you have probably seen it on television as we look at a called ball.
On Dusty Baker.
At the end of the Olympics, he asked Frank Gifford to take a look at it, give an opinion. Gifford said, looks like a pizza.
After Frank got up, what did he say?
Maybe Giff was hungry. We're not doing a bet. You better job up here in the booth ourselves.
2 balls and no strikes. Now it's 3-0. Dusty Baker, the man who did most of the damage in Los Angeles to Mike Torres in that 5-3 game, as Dusty hit a 3-run homer on the only mistake, really, that Torres made the whole game. It is now 3-1.
Get behind 3-0 to a hitter like Baker, you're asking for trouble.
You get a good chance to have the ball hit hard someplace.
High drive to right center. Jackson going back. On the track, Reggie runs it down. So Baker gave it a ride to about 380 feet. Reggie Jackson made the catch on the track at 385.
Only the dimensions of this ballpark defeated Baker on that one.
Did throw again in the pen for New York. Third time up. Rick Monday now at the plate.
Do you think that last ball had been out Sunday afternoon in Dodger Stadium?
As I
The way
said,
that ball
that's a
carried?
jet propulsion center.
Strike. Monday pulled it sharply to Chambliss. His first time up tonight. 0 for 1. Inside, ball 1. 1 and 1. One out, nobody on. Dodgers lead 3-2. Dodgers still playing long ball with the Yankees, though. Home run and a triple, the big blows for their 3 runs. Punched over the shortstop's head into left field for a base hit by Rick Monday. Lou Piniella slides down but gets it in. That is the 4th hit of the ball game for the Dodgers. Piniella repairing the turf, and Steve Yeager walks to the plate. See Lou sliding down. Foot went out for Monday. But he held Monday at first base. Now here is Yeager. 3-run homer for him. This one is drilled down the line. It is a fair ball. It caroms out toward the left fielder, Piniella. Monday goes into second base. Yeager! He's out at second. Yeager trying to stretch. He is thrown out at second base.
Well, that's very good aggressive base running by Steve Yeager. It's a ball down in the corner, and Piniella made a fine play. The ball caromed off the side wall, and he made a good throw to second base and just nipped it. But that's still good aggressive base running when you're up by 1 run.
We said earlier in the series, Piniella can fool you. Billy Martin's at the mound now, conference with Torres and Munson, because obviously they're hitting Torres. 2 hits in this inning, both good shots. But Piniella, who is not the fleetest man of foot, once he gets to the ball, he's solid. He will usually hold it despite the error on Sunday, and he will make an accurate throw, as he did there.
What about that play he made on Saturday?
Sensational on Ronnie Say, the play still of the series. Superb catch.
Bert Hooton now with 2 out and a chance to help himself with Rick Monday at third base. Dodgers lead 3-2. Hooton up and a fly ball caught by Reggie Jackson in short right, his first time up. Ball 1 from Mike Torres. There's a strike. It's 1 and 1. Top of the order, Davy Lopes waiting on deck. Time called now by the umpire down the first baseline, Nestor Shylock. If the series goes 7 games, Nestor will be back behind the plate tomorrow night. He's from the American League, and he is the senior umpire of this group. Torres delivers, and Hooton swings and misses. It's a count of 1 ball and 2 strikes. The pitchers will be tomorrow night, a pair of left-handers, Ron Guidry for the Yankees and Tommy John for the Dodgers. Monday, big lead off third. Hooton fouls into Munson's glove for strike 3. And so the Dodgers are turned away in the top of the 4th inning. And the score remains Los Angeles 3, New York 2. Preceding a message on behalf of Major League Baseball. As we move now to the home half of the 4th inning, and you look down on Yankee Stadium, you can see the Dodgers have 3 runs on 5 hits, but those 2 runs in the first inning were both unearned because of an error and a fastball. And there is Miss Lillian Carter, who has turned into a coast-to-coast jet setter here with the World Series and having the time of her life. Tom Lasorda, pensive for the moment as he watches Bert Hooton crank up to pitch to Thurman Munson, Reggie Jackson, and Chris Chambliss. It was Jackson and Chambliss who did the damage to Bert back in the bottom of the 2nd inning. When he is not getting the knuckle curve in the strike zone, and particularly when he starts bouncing that thing in front of the plate, he's going to have a long, hard night. And he has not been sharp tonight.
Well, when you got a pitch that's your number 1 pitch, Keith, like his knuckle curveball, you've got to be able to get your number 1 pitch over. If you don't, you're trying to beat a good ball club with your number 2 pitch.
And you should not be able to do it.
Does that happen to you often, Tom? Not able to get your fastball where you want it?
The days you go and you don't have a fastball, that's the beautiful thing. That's the art of pitching. Being able to do something when you don't have, the greatest stuff in the world.
Thurman Munson Takes high.
That's a high knuckle curveball. He's got to get that pitch, establish that pitch, and get it over if he's going to be effective, I believe.
The Dodger pen is quiet for the moment. Sosa was up in the second.
That graphic an index to the consistency of Thurman Munson.
Shot to left. Be a base hit. Baker cuts it off and hurries it back in to hold Thurman Munson at first base.
And I think that illustrates, that's the high fastball. Hooten's second pitch, and Munson, of course, just laced it left field for a base hit.
So Thurman now has 8 hits in the series, even as Steve Garvey does. The two vying head-to-head.
Reggie Jackson. Long drive right field. It is.
Goodbye. A big, big World Series for Reggie Jackson, despite all the palaver about his discontent with Billy Martin as he comes up with his 3rd home run of the series. Quickly, the Yankees go ahead. Tom Seaver hit the nail on the head in the very early going with his talk about Bert Hooten and his inability to get that knuckleball curve over. The key so far to the ball game.
So Chambliss and Jackson have homered for New York. Reggie Smith for Los Angeles. The Yankees are back on top, 4-3. Nobody out. Chambliss at the plate. Nettles on deck. Vanilla to follow. Sosa in the Dodger bullpen.
Now, this is obviously a stall move for Tom Lasorda. He'll give a little hand signal out to Davey Lopes at second base, tell him to come in to talk to his pitcher, give the pitcher in the bullpen a little bit more time. You'll see it. This is a fastball. They're trying to pitch hard stuff in on Jackson. That's right in his wheelhouse. He just spins on that ball and hits it to a short porch here in Yankee Stadium.
Strike one to Chambliss. That ball went out of here at about 320 feet, maybe 25. Didn't have a whole lot of lift on it, but sure did have a lot of velocity. 1 ball and 1 strike. Sort of moving around. There's Elias. Second time he's been up. One more crunch and he might be in here. 2-1.
Here he comes right now. I didn't think it'd be much longer. Here was Tommy Lasorda. Whether to take him out or just talk to Bert Hooten, I'm not sure. Bert doesn't look too happy on the mound.
In the meantime, Tom, almost unnoticed, Reggie Jackson has 7 out of 18 on the series, and he's now tied with Dusty Baker and Steve Yeager at 5 RBIs for the series. So Reggie's having a big series.
As the conversation goes on the mound, let's quickly go to the record book with Jerry Klein here. In 6-game series, Babe Ruth, Ted Kluszewski, and now Reggie Smith and Reggie Jackson have hit 3 home runs in a 6-game series.
Should add that Reggie Smith has 5 ribbies on the series, so it's a 4-way tie.
John McSherry, Tom Lasorda engaging in conversation. Reggie Jackson sending greetings, and we'll charge you for it, Reggie. No commercials on this show.
Don't blame you a bit, Reg.
That's one of the few times I've seen him smile in the last 7 days. He usually frowns over there.
They're cleaning up the outfield as some stuff has come on, and Elias Sosa now will be coming on and apparently is going to replace Bert Hooten. Time is out. There's the story on the pitchers in tonight's ball game, and that's a book on Bert Hooten because he's gone after 3 innings plus, total of 4 runs, 3 earned on 3 hits. He walked 1, and he's gone. Mike Torres across the way in the bullpen now with a 1-run lead, and some of the burden of the evening is now shifted off not only to the relief man for the Dodgers, but to the rest of the Yankee pitching staff because they have an edge. And Reggie Jackson hitting 1 of the 2 home runs struck off Bert Hooten, the first by Chris Chambliss for 2 runs, and then Jackson with a 2-run shot.
Vacillation of moods, the story of Reggie Jackson all year long, the principal actor in the Yankees daily soap opera.
Count is 2-1 on Chris Chambliss as Sosa comes in. And he misses high and away with a fastball to make it 3-1. Bottom of the fourth inning with nobody out. High fly ball that's hit to the left side. Billy Russell going over and...
Oh, no! Oh, no!
You could smell trouble on that one. You could smell it because Baker was coming in cautiously, thinking Russell had it well in hand, and suddenly Russell realized he didn't have it well in hand at all. Watch this.
Well, that looks like a lack of communication. Bill went a long way out there. Of course, Dusty had to come a long way playing, this huge Yankee Stadium outfield, but there's no excuse for that when you're a championship team. That's the I got it, you take it kind of play.
So Chambliss has a double, and he is 7 for 22 on the series.
This is where Alphonse and Gaston broke in, wasn't it? Here's the pitch now to Nettles. Low and away. Nobody out. Chambliss at second base. 2 runs are in. The Yankees are leading 4-3. And there's a lot of people standing in the Dodger bullpen, but at the moment, nobody's throwing.
Soso bringing a good hard fastball and a good hard slider. Keep in mind that Nettles is a dead fastball hitter, too. His job is going to get the runner at second. Chambliss over to third. He'd like another run, make it 5-3.
Balloon loose on the field. Dick Hauser tracks it. Bobby Cox coaching at first base and Dick over at third. Line score of the game at this point. Yankees trying to break it open. Here in the bottom of the fourth inning. They lead 3-2. Outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Hit on the ground to Lopes at second. Throws out Nettles. Chambliss goes to third. That is the first out of the inning.
He did his job. He moved him over. With 1 out, you've got the runner on third. Now it's Pinella's task.
There's really almost no way for Sosa to keep Nettles from getting that guy over there other than popping it up. Drake is a dead fastball hitter, a dead pull hitter. Runner on second base. All he's got to do is pull the ball on the ground like that. It's an easy guy over to third base. He did exactly that. Howard did his job. Now all he needs is a sacrifice fly from Piniella. Yankees will be up 5-3.
2-run lead in this game for the team that has the edge of the series is a big lead. With arrested Sparky Lyle ready and snorting to come. And it's fouled off.
Here's Doug Rao, a low ball pitcher who had a brief life last Saturday against the Yankees. They belted him early, got him out early. Roden came on to do a great job, but Ron Guidry was even better.
Strike 1 pitch to Lou Piniella. 1 out, Chambliss at third. Fly ball will produce it. Inside, 0-1. Sosa throws hard, 92 miles an hour. There's the man at third. The infield is up, obviously, with the man at third. The outfield straight away. Reggie Smith not too deep in right. High drive, left field, Baker back. He has room. Chambliss tags. No play. Chris Hahn, sacrifice fly. Piniella, Yankees lead 5-3.
So even as Nettles did his job, Piniella did his.
Those weren't boos either. They're yelling Lou. They're happy for Lou. Sacrifice fly drives in the 5th run for the Yankees. 3 runs in this inning.
That, of course, is exactly what happens when you do your job in moving the runner over.
Batter now, Bucky Denton, Yankee shortstop. He checks and they get an appeal at first base. Mr. Shylock says no, didn't go through. So it's, well, the plate umpire called it. Why is Yeager begging to Shylock?
He's used to umpiring back there a little bit himself, I think.
Hey, he's really throwing that ball, Sosa. 93 miles per hour. Bucky tickied it, in Tom's terms, reading Christy Matheson.
In the vernacular of the modern-day player, he's bringing it to home plate, Howard.
Three and one the count on Bucky dead now. Yankees 5-3. There's a strike.
Wonder who Reggie's talking to, Tom.
Maybe he's making a plane reservation. He thinks the Yankees have got it wrapped up.
Dick fouls it sharply down the left side. The ball boy makes a good play, and folks over there trying to talk him out of the ball. Count is 3-2.
That's interesting, Tom. Anybody on the Reds ever talking on the phone? Any player during the game?
Maybe he's ordering same.
Might be ordering dinner. You never know.
Dinner reservations for 300. Here's the pitch inside to Bucky Dent, and he walks.
He might be talking to one of those Yankee scouts in the stands who sends down the instructions, where to play, what the guy is throwing, and all the rest. By the way, that was laughed at by a lot of teams, Tommy. But now your own team has come to Gene Michael was telling us the other day, remember? The Reds have come to Gene to talk to him about exactly what the Yankees do. Teams are beginning to get very interested in that.
Clyde King is the guy doing it here in the series, along with Cedric Tallis, Bertie Tebbets. Red Adams talking to the bullpen.
Maybe he's talking to Reggie.
Yeah, Reggie.
Think he's talking to Reggie?
Don't think so. Breaking pitch on the corner. Strike one.
I got to give you another little sidelight into pitching here, Sosa. Walking eighth place hitter. One of the cardinal rules of a pitcher, not only not walking the pitcher, you get that eighth place hitter out, especially with 2 outs.
Torres hits it on the ground to Bill Russell. Throws him out.
I'll explain that when we come back.
Well, the inning is over, but it's a big one for the Yankees. They score 3. They lead 5-3. To the top of the 5th inning we go now for the Los Angeles Dodgers. The line score showing you that the Yankees, with 3 big runs in the bottom of the 4th, lead the Dodgers 5-3, and trying to slam the door on them is big right-hander Mike Torres, and he'll be pitching to the top of the order. Davey Lopes, Billy Russell, and Reggie Smith. And what was it you were going to explain, Tom?
We're talking about the 8th place hitter. Trying to give you some of the thought processes that a pitcher should be going through on the mound. You've got 2 outs and nobody on, the 8th place hitter up. If you get him out, the pitcher is really concerned about the next inning as well. Now, starting the next inning, that pitcher would be facing the pitcher, which is almost like getting 1 out for the next inning. As a result now, Sosa's going to come back out there. He'll be facing the top of the lineup, Mickey Rivers, instead of the pitcher where he could get an easy out next inning.
Davey Lopes hitless in 2 trips tonight. Bill Russell and Reggie Smith. And he shortens up, brings Nettles charging in from third base, takes it, ball 1.
There's no way the Yankees can feel secure, though they have to feel good about their 2-run lead, because, and Martin knows that very well,
Ball 2.
this Dodger team has shown its comeback capacity all year long and has shown it in the World Series.
Lopes looking at Preston Gomez at third as we look in the Dodger dugout. Hits the ball high in the air to left field. Lou Piniella has plenty of time. 1 out. Now it's Bill Russell.
Bill Russell.
With the bases clean in front of him. Sparky Lyle shows up for the first time tonight in the Yankee bullpen. There he is. He's been looking for work the last 3 days.
He may be over-rested.
Low from Torres for ball 1 to Russell. Russell also hitless in 2 trips. Outside.
Torres getting behind the hitters, Tom.
Martin to the
There
mound.
goes Billy Martin, too. He noticed it as
2-0
well.
to Davy Lopes. Now 2-0 to Bill Russell.
You know, talking about Sparky Lyle, you're talking about a real professional in the baseball game as a pitcher. And even though he hasn't been in a game, they got those complete games from Torres and Gidry and all that. There'll be games when even though he's not going to get in them, he'll get up and throw in the bullpen. He might throw for 2 innings down there if he knows that he needs the work. They won't call from the bullpen. Sparky knows what he has to do to keep himself ready. Even if the Yankees are ahead 10-0 during the season, he'll get up sometimes and throw in the bullpen.
It is now 3-0 and a Frisbee on the field.
Torres getting himself into trouble, and Reggie Smith up next.
Ball 4.
Yep. Here comes the big man.
Well, we talked about it in the top of the 3rd inning. We're talking about momentum swinging back and forth. The Yankees took it, and it looks like the Dodgers took it back when Smith hit the home run, and now it looks like the Yankees have taken it back. They get 1 or 2 of those leadoff hitters for the Dodgers on and bring this power up. They've got a chance.
Could be 2. There's 1 at second, over to first. Easy double play.
Not this time.
A 6-4-3 double play. The Dodgers are gone after 4.5. Yankees 5, Dodgers 3. Reggie Jackson in the Yankee dugout as the top of the order comes to the plate. Mickey Rivers, Willie Randolph, Thurman Munson. Reggie would be the 4th hitter. Yankees 5, Dodgers 3, bottom of the 5th inning. Elias Sosa. Lopes can't get it. Rivers drills it to right center. Rick Mundy holds him at first base. So Rivers is on for the first time in the game.
Now Sosa has a couple of worries. Randolph, who can hit and run for you, with Rivers the speedster, and Rivers who can steal. Meantime, Tommy, Reggie Smith did exactly what you said they shouldn't do. Try and pull the outside pitch. Thus the double play, right?
You can't try and tie it up on one pitch. You know, you're going to hit your home runs. If you hit 30-some-odd home runs a year, you're going to hit them. You're going to get your pitches to hit them, but it's tough to manufacture them.
Sosa goes to first. Dodgers think that Billy Martin might send him, and that's exactly the routine. When he goes because Billy Martin wants him to. Randolph back in. Rao is up in the Dodger bullpen again. Rivers a short lead, not going. Randolph shortens to bunt, takes a strike. Ron Say hopping in from 3rd. Rao warming in the pen. Pressure's on Steve Yeager here as well. If they do send Rivers, you got to be quick. Of course, Yeager with a magnificent arm, one of the better defensive catchers in baseball. Say short at 3rd. Rivers short lead at first. Not going. Bunt down. Yeager out in a hurry, goes to second. They get him.
He threw out a fast man at second base. That's
really
a fine
did.
play by Yeager. Not only is he an outstanding defensive catcher, he is one of the tough-nosed characters in baseball today.
This takes us back to the very first game of the World Series when we saw Jerry Grote make consecutive plays of that type.
Dodgers have 2 of the finest catchers, defensive catchers in baseball. If you look at that guy throwing down to second base, he's got to throw out Mickey Rivers.
Ball sailed on him just a little bit.
2-run lead. Martin elected to bunt with Rivers, his speedster, on base. Do you call that conservative play or venturesome play?
That's very conservative, Howard.
Exactly
Your point is
my
well
point.
taken. There are a lot of things you can do there. You can try and steal. You can try and hit and run. The most conservative play would be to bunt.
Thurman Munson singled and scored a run in 2 trips. The umpire, John McSherry, will put a new ball in play. 1 out, 1 on. Bottom of the 5th inning. The Yankees on top 5-3. Elias Sosa came in the 4th inning. Bert Hooton with 3 innings plus 4 runs. 3 earned charged against him.
Randolph himself a speedster. The damaged knee, which he was protective about, a thing of the past.
Pitch is outside. As Yeager saw Munson slide up the bat handle with 1 out, as if they might be thinking about moving Randolph to second, but Munson so steady with men on base, so tough.
I think that's a drag bunt. If he's faking a bunt, but he sees Say way back at third base.
Yeah, he's way back.
He was
there.
thinking drag bunt. He's going to take a shot at that hole on the right side. They might try something there. They might try hit and run. 2-0 now. It'd be a good count to do it. There's the big hole between Garvey and Lopes. And of course, Munson can go to right field as well as anybody in baseball. And he's ahead in the count now. There's a lot of things offensively that a team can do here. And Sosa knows it, too. Trying to keep him close to the bag.
Jackson, of course, is on deck. Jake, the 4th man, come to the plate in this inning. If Thurman does something here. 1 out. Randolph at first. Munson hits it to center field. Rick Monday comes and flags it down. Throws quickly back in. And Randolph retreats to first base. 2 out. I noticed when Rick Monday started in center field, it looked like the turf kicked up under his foot. He almost slipped.
Well, they had quite a bit of rain here the other day, Keith. A lot of rain at home. There's a lot of water on the ground. And you saw Piniella slip earlier as well.
Reggie Jackson, who has walked and homered. Scored twice, knocked in 2. 3 home runs in the series so far. Sosa breaks the tension by throwing over to hold Randolph close again. 2 out now. Hard shot, right field, it's gone.
Oh, what a World Series for Reggie Jackson. First pitch, right in his wheelhouse, as Don Siva would say. Reggie Jackson now well on his way to becoming the most valuable player in the 1977 World Series if the Yankees go on to win.
Now, they say the cream comes to the top, and George Steinbrenner paid that man $3 million, $2.9 million to get 2 home runs in this game. It looks like that investment is paying off. Fastball right down the chute. Just turns, just spins on it. He's got a short porch in right field. And a big, strong man, Reggie Smith, looks like he knew it, too. Yankees go ahead 7-3.
Something I'll always remember. That ball just got in. At that point, the outfield fence is at its highest. It's 9 feet high. Reggie Jackson, the other day, in his room with me, on his way to meeting Billy Martin for an apparent rapprochement. Look at Reggie. He had to eat crow. He knew it. He didn't want to do it, but he did it. And he'll be back next year, says George Steinbrenner, and Martin is already assured of being back next year. Victory can bring harmony.
Doug Rao gets the call, and he'll be coming in from the Dodger bullpen as Reggie Jackson goes for successive home runs. And the Yankees now lead 7-3. And the Dodgers are in trouble. The Dodger pitcher, the 3rd of the night, Doug Rao. His seasonal record reflected there. It was in the start in Los Angeles, where he was shelled by the Yankees when he got a surprise start for the Dodgers. And he didn't last very long, as Reggie Jackson, the 4th home run in one series, ties a World Series record. You can find almost any kind of record if you want to go deep enough into the World Series record book. Rao pitched 1 inning as he delivers now to Chris Chambliss in Los Angeles. He was hit 4 hits, 3 runs, and all 3 were earned. 2 balls and no strikes now to Chris Chambliss with 2 out and Greg Nettles on deck. And a 7-3 Yankee lead. On the corner, strike 1.
Reggie now has a total of 7 RBIs in the World Series.
To Garvey. Steve will do it himself, and the inning is over. But so much damage was done to the Los Angeles Dodgers after 5 innings of play. 7-3 New York. Back with more after this word from our local station. The scene just a few moments ago as Reggie Jackson went to his defensive position in right field. You might call it aggrandizement of an athlete.
How sweet it all is, especially for that man, with all the rebuffs this year, all of the problems with media people, the problems with his manager. How sweet it
Third
is.
baseman, Ron Zane.
For the Los Angeles Dodgers now, down by 4 big runs against Mike Torres, Ron Cey, Steve Garvey, and Dusty Baker.
And if you think this team will quit, you're mistaken.
Pitch, ball 1. It is not, however, the ballpark to hit it out very often at the left side unless you can pull it sharply. It is so big at 387 left, going over to 430 left center and 417 in center. Ron Cey with the bat on his shoulder, looking at Mike Torres, go to 3-0.
Torres has been behind a lot of hitters. Don Seaver's constant warning. Quickly behind 3-0 on Cey.
There's a strike, and Sparky Lyle is up in the Yankee bullpen.
Well, if he starts getting behind here, this is exactly what the Dodgers need. There's Sparky Lyle. They don't need home runs. They need walks, they need singles, they need doubles. They've got to play their game to the opposite field. They got to start getting away from the home run. They don't need the home run.
Strikes out, Ron Cey.
That's after falling behind him 3-0, and he comes back and strikes out. The Dodgers need base runners. You get behind by this much, you're down 4 runs. You've got 4 innings to go. You've got to take the ball to the other field. Just take a single. Peck away. Get 2 runs here. Get 2 runs there.
Batter now is Steve Garvey. Triple and a fly ball to center. Hit both well. Tries to drag it down the third base side with Greg Nettles deep and fouled it away. The Yankees trying to win their 21st World Championship in the history of the ball club.
What a history in this ballpark.
No pitch as Garvey steps out. Mike flips it up to the plate anyway.
Look at Thurman. He said it was a good pitch. He told the umpire it was a strike. You see
Put that in your repertoire next year, Mike.
He never loses his sense of humor.
High fly ball to right center, playable. Jackson coming over. Reggie makes the catch. 2 out. Now it is Dusty Baker. 7-3 in the top of the 6th. Right. Oh, he had a little hot sauce on that one.
That's known as dead red.
High fly ball left. Piniella goes back to the track, has run. Torres gets the Dodgers in order in the top of the 6th inning. The Yankees lead 7-3. A
There's the
reflection
bunt.
of history everywhere, aren't they?
Yep, George Herman Babe Ruth. One of 6 players to have hit 4 home runs in a World Series. And that bust, of course, out in center field where the Yankee bullpen is. There are the 6 players. The Babe, the Iron Horse, Lou Gehrig, the Duke of Flatbush, Duke Snyder, Hank Bauer, to that great Yankee career, Gene Tennis, and now Reggie Jackson.
Greg Nettles takes a strike. Doug Rao. Then it'll be Lou Piniella and Bucky Dent for New York. The pitcher spot the 4th hitter. No reason not to think Mike Torres won't be there. Nettles swings and misses on a breaking pitch and quickly roused in front. 2 strikes. Dodger pen for the moment quiet. Pitch outside.
This figures to be Rouse last inning if he gets through it, because he's up at bat next inning.
Better warm up somebody. Nettles fouls it into the Yankee dugout.
Rouse's job at this point, Keith, the entire Dodger bullpen is just a hold 'em. The Dodgers have 9 outs to get back in the ball game. They just can't give away any more runs. Doug's job and the entire bullpen just to hold them right there.
Well, he strikes out Nettles for the first time of the inning. He's throwing harder and looks better now than he did at the start of the other.
He really does.
Sweet Lou Piniella.
The unnoticed Yankee who came through with the sacrifice fly at a very important time in the ball game for the Yankees. Did his job. He's made a fine throw, catching Yeager at second when the Dodgers had a rally buddy.
Fouls that in the seats. The Bear, Big Mike, out of Topeka, Kansas, signed for a mere $20,000, and he's bumped around all over Major League Baseball. He is still destined to be a free agent the day after the season's over. Re-entry draft November 4.
But Gabe Paul and he are getting close.
High, 4-1.
If you remember, Keith, what George Steinbrenner said in the pregame interview.
Little pain now showing on Tom Lasorda's face. Espinella deep to center field. But Rick Monday getting a good break on the ball, and you have good visibility in this ballpark. You have 2 out.
Piniella, an excellent low ball hitter. He conked a low ball for that sacrifice fly earlier on.
Batter now, Bucky Dent. Yankee shortstop, 2 out, bases clean. Pitch high and away. This program, an exclusive presentation of ABC Sports. Let's pause 5 seconds to allow our local stations to identify themselves. High fly, left side, Baker coming over. It's in the seats. Now you have the knuckler in the Dodger bullpen, Charlie Huff, who had an impressive outing in his only appearance in the series.
He made them look helpless.
When you haven't seen the dancer very often, I'll tell you, you can make a lot of people look helpless. But Reginald Martinez Jackson has had a night to remember.
I think the man just thrives on controversy. I've known Reggie for a long time. There's a happy Billy Martin. Reggie for a long time. He was in a controversial team when he was with the Athletics. This year has been a soap opera over here with the Yankees. He comes out in a game where if they win, they go home. He gets a couple of dingers.
Dent hits it toward Russell. On a bounce to Garvey to get him. So the inning is over as Rao gets him in order.
Thank you very much.
6.
Thank you. Good to see you.
7-3.
This game is still, in our view, far from over. But all year long, should the Yankees win, they've been characterized in the press as the best team money can buy. Look at the estimated, and they're very solid estimates, of the salaries of the Yankees. Rivers at that figure. Randolph at that figure. Munson and Jackson at a similar figure. Of course, bonuses and deferred payments are excluded. Chambliss at 150. Nettles at 135. Piniella 80. Den 110. Torres 85. He now wants a $500,000. And Martin at 100,000.
Rick Monday hits it on the ground to the second baseman, Willie Randolph. 1 out. Rick Monday leading off to be followed by Steve Yeager and then the pitcher's spot.
That's a lot of loot, Tom Siebert.
You take all that loot and you add on about $32,000, which these Yankees have got a chance to win if they hold on here tonight. Winner's share in a World Series, great big Yankee Stadium contributed to that. $32,000 looks like for the winner's share. That's not bad peanuts for about 7 days' work, is it?
Not too bad.
Mike Torres pitching to Steve Yeager. The Dodger catcher swings and misses. I'll tell you one thing about Torres that I kind of like, too, considering his circumstances. I do like his timing.
If he can last this out.
Ed Goodson on deck as a pinch hitter as he misses low and away to Yeager for 1 ball and 1 strike.
Pitch before that one, Keith, 93 miles an hour. So Torres is still firing.
Up the middle, Mike Fletcher throws him out. 2 down.
They're looking at 7 outs now. They need 7 outs. They'll be world champions. And they very well know it, every one of those guys in that field. Torres made a good play on the mound. Big guy's pretty agile out there. I don't know what Billy Martin's out there
Your
for.
attention, please.
Maybe Torres
Ladies
hurt
and
himself,
gentlemen.
twisted or something, turned his body.
Batting for
Ed
Rao.
Goodson now will come to the plate, a left-handed swinger. He was in the on-deck circle in one of the games in Los Angeles, but I don't believe he actually came to the plate.
I think obviously that's what Billy came out for, talking about how to pitch to Goodson. Goodson's a dead first ball, fastball hitter. That's from my little notebook of 11 years of acquiring hitter strengths and weaknesses.
Was Goodson smiling or grimacing?
There's a strike. With the appearance of Goodson at the plate, though, every one of the Dodgers now will have appeared in this World Series. Fouled off.
Torres is trying to duplicate his performance of last week. He allowed 3 runs on the Baker home run in the 3rd. They never scored on him after that. He allowed the 3rd run tonight in the 3rd.
Oh, 1 and 2.
And a reminder that only 1 Dodger run has been earned. The 2 in the 1st unearned.
Struck him out. Mike Torres now has retired 7 in order. And the score continues after 6½, 7-3 Yankees. Knuckleballer Charlie Huff is now on the mound, the 4th Los Angeles pitcher. And he throws a real dancer, let me tell you. When you can get it over, he's almost impossible. Let's go back to an earlier piece of videotape as Charlie talks about his pitch.
Knuckleball, I think, is the weirdest pitch in baseball and possibly the most misunderstood. Most people think that it's thrown with the knuckles, and I don't know of anybody, including myself, that throws it that way. We all throw it with the fingernails, maybe not necessarily in the same spot on the ball, but we all try and throw it with the fingernails and push the ball out so it has little or no rotation on the ball. Unlike a fastball which spins straight back or a curveball which spins forward or down, a knuckleball has no true trajectory, and therefore the wind currents in the stadium sometimes make the ball bob around like a wiffle ball, and it might break 2 or 3 different times on the way to the plate. Because of these unpredictable breaks that the knuckleball has, an oversized catcher's mitt has been developed which is similar to a first baseman's glove, which enables the catcher to catch the ball one-handed. Even though the knuckleball has all this movement, it doesn't put very much strain on my arm, and it enables me to pitch almost every day.
And it drives hitters up the wall. Lou Piniella is one of those with a kind of stroke that quite possibly could handle it. But I doubt very much if the big guy at the plate right now is going to have much luck with it, but you never know. Mike Torres, the Yankee pitcher. He got a piece of it.
I don't think hitting that knuckleball is the main thing on his mind. He's thinking about 6 more outs.
Yes,
He's got 2
sir.
World Series wins and a championship for his team, the New York Yankees.
That's outside. The Yankees, his 5th team. He previously played at Oakland, at Baltimore, at Montreal, at St. Louis. Swing and a miss, 1 and 2.
Taking his hacks up there, isn't he?
Yep.
He's hacking at it.
Oh, I'll bet you he jumps 8 feet in the air if he goes on and wins this ball game. Strikes out.
Hack at it. You might hit it. You never know.
New York City.
That's got to be the George Washington Bridge, isn't it? Stadium in
not,
behind
you've
it.
got a scoop.
Is that it?
If it's not,
Well, we
you've
got
a
more
scoop.
than one bridge around here. We got the Triborough and the Whitestone and the George Washington
And the Throgsneck.
Tappan Zee. We
And
got
the
all
Brooklyn
kinds.
and the Queensboro.
Mickey Rivers.
End of
Oh,
geography.
End of our geography lesson for today.
Steve Yeager, of course, has
We
gone to
mentioned
that
the
big
Arizona.
pillow that he has, trying to handle Charlie Huff's knuckleball. Yeager will box it around quite a bit. The size of that glove. Outside. There it is. Great big old thing. Pull to right, base hit for Rivers. Going to the corner, Mickey will hold on as the throw comes in from Reggie Smith in a hurry.
That's just respect for the man's arm in right field, because Mickey Rivers can run with anybody in the American League. The ball got down to the corner awfully quickly. You'd guess that he would take a chance and get to second base with one out on the board.
Bottom of the seventh inning, Willie Randolph is at the plate with one out and Rivers at first. Say shortens up some at third. To the edge of the grass. The knuckler is in for a strike. Yeager boxes it around and keeps it in front of him. Garvey and Rivers. They go to first. Crowd kind of quiet now. Their ball club leading 7-3. Randolph chops at it, fouls it off. Has a look at Dick Hauser. Now comes back with a two-strike count.
Remember how we talked in the opening game about nerves and how you get butterflies in the opening game, the first couple of innings? It's that way at the end of the World Series, if this is indeed the end.
It has to be. There's no other way. The Yankees have to be thinking ahead to those final 6 outs.
Dodgers will have the top of the order coming up in the top of the 8th inning. Fouled at the plate. And the count holds at 1-2 on Willie Randolph with one out and Rivers at first. 21 World Championships. My goodness. You can see that Torres has started and gone all the way for New York. Tom Lasorda working through the ranks of his pitching corps, with Huff being the 4th. And Lance Robson is up in the bullpen right now for Los Angeles. Two and two to Willie Randolph. There's the young left-hander for the Dodgers, Lance Robson. If he's called, it'll be his second appearance in the series. Fouled off, and that bit Steve. The right shoulder. See, Charlie, you could see that time he was sinking his fingernails into the ball. Rivers off. He's going on 2-2. It goes to Say. Ronnie looks at second, no play, throws out Randolph.
Munson up. Even though they're 4 ahead, this is a big situation. A home run with the bases loaded can overtake a 4-run lead. The 5th run is a very precious insurance type of run. So Thurman and the Yankees want a hit now.
Should Thurman jerk one here, he's right back in the MVP hunt, too.
You really think so?
Well, if the Dodgers should make a run, and his particular effort has some meaning, ballots are probably being cast right about this time. That's fouled, and I think it's fouled off Thurman. He just fell down trying to hit that dancer coming up there.
He's really a remarkable competitor, though, Keith. Let's look at it again. Right down.
Yeah, it bit him.
Right off that left foot. You can scratch him and claw him and bloody him up, but he'll be forever unbowed because this is old scrap iron. Gives more than you'd ever think he had to give.
Wore his lucky hat to the ballpark today. Funny looking thing, but apparently something's working. Balloons are floating down onto the field of play. Time will be called.
Might be taking those to the Yankee clubhouse, saving them for a celebration. They might be having one here.
Yeah, they might just have a little toot down there
Yeah,
tonight.
they might have a little champagne, a little bubbly flowing in that clubhouse.
Swing and a miss. 2 strikes. If the series ends tonight, we will obviously visit with the victors. Bill White will be visiting.
They have not won yet.
No. That pitch is high. You know, Steve Yeager started reaching up, and then as the ball got to the plate, he just kept going down and finally to one knee to chase it down. It's 1-2 to Thurman Munson with 2 out and Mickey Rivers at second base. Ball gets away from Steve, throws to first to get Munson, and the inning is over. So Charlie Huff comes in, does his job, gets the Yankees to go now to the top of the 8th. Back with more after this word from our local station. Top of the 8th inning for the Los Angeles Dodgers. The top of the order: Davy Lopes, Billy Russell, Reggie Smith, Ron Cey, the 4th man if somebody should get on. Mike Torres working on a 5-hitter. He's allowed 3 runs, 2 unearned. Yankees lead 7-3, and Torres throws a bullet in the strike zone.
Yeah, the Dodger orders are going to be take a strike. Torres has got to throw strikes. That's going to be his #1 purpose right now on the mound.
Hit up the middle by Lopes, base hit.
Well, that's the beginning of a restive stir in the crowd.
And
Because
Sparky
they've-
Lyle.
Right? They've seen this Dodger team fight back before.
Bill Russell.
Russell at the plate now. He is hitless in 2 trips. He's walked once. Circumstance like this takes the wings off the feet of Davy Lopes, though. Unless Russell can hit behind him. Reggie Smith to the on-deck circle. Pitch to Russell. Strike. Ball outside. 1-1.
Close. Very close.
Top of the 8th inning. Game number 6. Strike. He went around.
Good high fastball to Russell. Watch the bat head come through the strike zone. See it? That's a strike. Good call.
1-2 to Bill Russell. 2-2.
The Dodgers are not out of this yet. They got their leadoff hitter on, Davy Lopes. And this kid here, Bill Russell. These 2 guys make this offense roll. And you've got Smith, Cey, and Garvey coming up. Billy Martin looking on. The Dodgers are nowhere out of this. Nowhere are they out of this yet.
Low and outside, it's 3-2. Nobody out. Lopes on first. Full count on Russell. Smith on deck.
If he walks him, you might see a visit from Billy Martin after this.
Very quickly.
Hits it to right. Reggie Jackson. Reaches up, flags it down. That's 1.
And here is the other Reggie. He shouldn't really be characterized that way, not in view of the series he has had thus far.
He has 3 home runs in this World Series. 2 here in New York. Inside. Both hit in just about the same place, except I think the first visit here, that second game was longer.
Well, they were both monsters, Keith. The home runs that he's hit here.
On the nose.
He's a big, strong man. He can really get it out there.
And you saw a shot of Lasorda in the dugout, exhorting his team on till it's over. And unless it's over, he won't quit.
1-1 pitch. Inside. 2-1. Opes on first. 1 out.
Lasorda deserves a lot of credit. He had a meeting the other day when the Dodgers were down 3-1. He called his men in and said he was very proud of them, each and every one of them, and no matter what happened, they've all had a great season.
Fouled out of play. I tell you, it's fun to have a guy like Tom Lasorda in baseball. He's a cheerleader.
That last pitch, by the way, Keith, 95 miles per hour. So here in the late going, Torres is still firing.
He's still thrown only about probably 92, 93 pitches. He had 86 at the start of this inning. There's no reason really to be tired.
To Shamden. To second and 1. That's the first double play.
That was a great turn by Chris Chambliss.
What?
A fine fielding effort by Chambliss at first base.
And so the Dodgers get the leadoff man on, but can't move him around. The double play again.
Great double play turned by Chambliss. 1 step and a fine throw to second base. Here it is, another view of it. Good throw to second base, right on the inside part of the bag. A perfect throw, and Dent turns it over. Not even close. Chambliss got back to the bag. That's a great double play. 2 outs for the Yankees. They need 3 more. They'll be world champions 1977, and there's their man leading off this inning against Charlie Up, Reggie Jackson, for 9 runs in the series.
Toughest double play in baseball, and they made it when they had to. Now listen to the ovation for Reggie Jackson as he comes up to the plate.
Reggie Jackson has seen 2 pitches in the strike zone tonight, 2, and he's hit them both in the seats.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Oh, what a blow. What a way to top it off. Forget about who the most valuable player is in the World Series. How this man has responded to pressure. Oh, what a beam on his face. How can you blame him? He's answered the whole world.
Reggie Jackson's last at-bat, probably in the 1977 series.
What a colossal blow.
And that was a monster in itself. 475 feet, probably. Look at that. Look at Torres. You don't think they know it? Feel it in there?
What are they all thinking now? After all the furor, after all the hassling, it came down to this. A whole long season. Out comes Reggie.
The only other man that's done that in the World Series, he did it twice, Babe Ruth.
That's pretty splendid company to be in.
But Reggie, the candy bar was not named after the Babe.
Look at it again.
Look at him turn on this pitch.
Knuckleball or no knuckleball. It was what Reggie wanted.
He got great extension out of his arms. Look at him. Stand there and look at him.
He knew it was gone. A monstrous blow. High above the 417-foot mark. Deep into the empty area without spectators. Measure it 450 to 475. There's a sense of release in that man now. Fulfillment is written in his face.
Well, we just told you, only one other man had done it. Babe Ruth did it twice.
There's the Babe out in that area right next to the Yankee bullpen.
And now the noise subsides some, and Chris Chambliss stands at the plate. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. The fire destroyed Reg's home in Oakland, lost all of his trophies, his MVP, World Series MVP, the 7 All-Star rings, the World Series ring, but he's going to have some trophies, I think, when this night's over. As Chambliss grounds, Davey Lopes at second base for the first down. We can announce it. Sports Magazine's MVP for the 1977 World Series, Reggie Jackson.
And while they probably didn't need that run, time will tell on that, it nonetheless is still another important run to have in the bank.
Nettles at the plate, hits it foul. You know what? I'm going to make him give me the card. He doesn't need it.
Reggie, of course, a close friend of Keith Jackson's. They've worked together on ABC's Superstar show. Stupid.
Well, there were days of that.
No pun intended.
1-1 to Greg Nettles. Crowd roaring his name, roaring for the Yankees. 8-3 as Nettles swings and misses on a knuckler.
There's another man sitting close to us. His name is George Steinbrenner. For him, equal fulfillment. He's the man who insisted on getting Reggie Jackson.
Nettles pulls away, knuckler gets a corner, Greg strikes out. And here comes Lou Piniella. Might sound like a chorus of boos to you at home, but it is not. It is for Lou. Inside, ball 1. Outside, ball 2. The Yankees need only 3 more outs, and they will have won in the history of this club's 21st World Series. Piniella fouls it off. And unless the Dodgers can stage a dramatic comeback in the top of the 9th inning, they will have won it with authority.
The stadium is absolutely alive. People on their feet, it's just like electricity. All the history in this ballpark. They sense another world championship, and I can't blame them. They know they're just 3 outs away from it. Tom Lasorda deserves a lot of credit for everything the Dodgers have done this year. A long season starts back in February in spring training. 162 games.
Piniella hits it in the air to the right side. Garvey goes over. Steve makes the catch and foul ground, and the inning is over. But the Yankees get 1 more run at the bottom of the 8th inning on Reggie Jackson's 3rd successive home run, and going to the top of the 9th, they lead 8-3. As Reggie Jackson took the field here at Yankee Stadium, there was a standing ovation, and I might tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that the vote among the writers and broadcasters involved in the Most Valuable Player Award was unanimous.
Look at Reggie Jackson. The whole long season. The near altercation in the dugout with his manager, Billy Martin, when Martin precipitously removed him from the game. Later substitutions of him. And then swinging those mock swings and saying, I can only answer one way. That's with my bat. I can come through with my bat. And he has done just that.
Reggie Jackson won the award back in 1973 with the Oakland Raiders.
Second time around for Reggie. What a spectacular performance. And if they go on to win it, as it seems they will, maybe it's true that this was the best team money could buy, but victory hasn't come easy. The Yankees lived a soap opera on the precipice of peril.
Ron Cey up now for The top of the ninth inning to lead off with Steve Garvey, Dusty Baker, and then Rick Monday, if anybody should get aboard. Mike Torres trying to go the distance for the second time in this World Series.
Keith, they had to take over, as you look at that graphic, not one but two teams, the Red Sox and the Birds.
Say fouls it off.
They did that in the very late going, winning in the American League East by 2.5 games over both teams. They appeared defeated by Kansas City, but they rallied from a 2-1 deficit to a 3-2 games victory, and they did it in the final inning of the final game. So there's something inside of this team, regardless of money. You don't come through this way on money alone.
Torres misses to say, and it's 1-2. Though I would still say, I will express now what I had in my mind at the beginning, that this could well have been the series. Say fouls it off, of the almighty dollar versus the big Dodger in the sky.
Well, I can feel for both these teams, Keith. I mean, I've been on the winning side, 1969. I've been on the losing side in 1973. There's strike three. That's one out. Say strikes out. 2 outs to go. Torres 2 outs away from a world championship. I've been on both sides. We beat the Baltimore Orioles as a New York Met in 1969. 1973, defeated by the Oakland Athletics. Reggie Jackson in right field. I lost game number 6, and they came back to beat us in game number 7. Been on a winning team and a losing team, and there is a big span of emotions on that field and in both dugouts right now.
Ground ball to Bucky Dent. Dent's throw, a little bit lame as he slipped, trying to get the throw away and couldn't get much on it. And Garvey legs it out.
Garvey did a good job hustling to first base. He's got every reason to fold up and just take a routine out. He did a good job getting to first, and even though Dent slipped, he almost nipped him, but it was Garvey's hustle that allowed him to just beat the throw to first.
Which traces back to what you were saying, the job the Dodgers have done all year long. The fight, the spirit in this club, epitomizing the doty little one-time southpaw Tom Lasorda, their manager. Maybe the most spirited in the league.
Gets it to left, base hit.
They don't quit easy.
Garvey at second. Holds on. Back-to-back singles now by Garvey and Baker. Garvey, to me, is also one of those people where a multi-year contract perhaps is not considered a risk at all, but rather an investment in a quality man.
An investment and probably a show of confidence, Keith. Especially with his knee the way it is. As you look at Rick Monday, and there's the ace in the hole for the Yankees, Sparky Lyle. You need me, I'm right here, he says.
Torres to Monday. Strike one. One out. Garvey at second. Baker at first. Monday misses on the drag effort, and it's 2 strikes on Rick. The men in blue now have come down in assuming positions. They're going to try to save the field when this is over. Monday beats it foul at the plate. Remember a year ago, Howard, when Chambliss plunked it in the seats to win the American League pennant for the Yankees, how they came roaring down on the field?
Crowd went crazy. Chambliss couldn't touch the bases. Some wondered if he had to. The answer technically was no. When interference by the crowd prevents it and the ball has been struck out of the park, no, you don't have to touch all the bases.
2-strike pitch to Rick Monday. Foul back here.
It's the closest we've had. Don't worry, guys. I still got you covered.
Last time the New York Yankees won a World Series was 1962 when they beat the Giants 4-3.
And that one ended with a line smash that was corralled by Mr. Bobby Richardson. A not-to-be-forgotten moment as the Giants were threatened.
I'm even young enough to remember that off the bat of Willie McCovey.
That's correct.
Who had a heck of a year himself. Low to Rick Monday.
A word about Billy Martin, the beleaguered little pepper pot, all year long. A man who made his share of mistakes and more, as he would tell you. But a man who somehow, with all of the controversy, motivates ball players. That one loved.
2-2. So the Dodgers are making Mike Torres work here in the top of the 9th inning. And Chris Chambliss now comes to the mound. May well have been sent there by Billy Martin as Sparky Lyle throws hard in the Yankee bullpen. Chris exhorting Mike, bear down, settle down, get him out, go all the way, big guy. You've earned the privilege.
The big bull, Mike Torres.
High fly ball, deep to right. Jackson goes back to the track, to the wall, and makes the catch.
Oh, just barely.
Garvey goes to third.
Hearts were beating in this stadium as they watched the flight of that ball. As they watched the outfielder, as Red Barbie used to teach, they would have known Reggie had it under control. But it was so close. Now a fan ran out to hug Reggie Jackson. Reggie personally escorts him back into the stands. Still another doing the same thing. Reggie shakes his hand. You hear the public address announced.
I'm not sure that I would want to be shaking hands with some idiot that comes running out on the field in the course of a game. In the first place, how do you know how he's going to behave when he gets there?
You're just telling it like it is, Mr. Jackson.
Vic Davalillo comes up. Vic Davalillo, who was such a big man in that big win for the Dodgers in Philadelphia. One of the venerable veterans of this game of baseball who had fortune smile on him late this summer when he was called back from the Mexican League and was able to come back to the major leagues one more time and to participate in the World Series. With 2 out and 2 on, Davalillo bunts the ball. Greg Nettles barehanded, throws to Munson, and they can't get Garvey at the plate. And Davalillo legs it out. And Dusty Baker
doing exactly what Tom Seaver said the Dodgers had to do once they fell behind. Get the singles, get the men on base. And he did that, you'll remember, in the final inning of the 3rd game against Philadelphia. Nettles makes a smart play, the only play possible. He couldn't get Davalillo at first, but he couldn't get the runner at home either.
It is now 8-4 in this ball game as Davalillo gets a bunt single hitting for Yeager. And now it's going to be Lee Lacy.
Billy's leaving them in, too, patting them on the back, giving them a vote of confidence.
And you saw earlier a glimpse of the fans. Already, their legs over the outfield fence.
And they're throwing firecrackers out into right field. Reggie Jackson now thinking seriously about leaving, and he will, and I don't blame him.
Jackson coming in.
The home fans chasing the most valuable player of their team off the field.
He's coming in for a helmet, unless he's coming in for. He just want to take any chances. Get rid of that soft cap. Give me a batting helmet. I'll go back out there.
We've talked about this before. We don't want to belabor the point. Behavior like this is intolerable, unthinkable, disgraceful, and not worthy of this great city.
Reggie waiting. They had taken the batting helmets, apparently, back to the locker room.
They've cleaned every glove and every bat, every helmet, and everything out of that dugout.
You know, Cliff Johnson, big old Cliff, who is as big as a tree standing there, said, get on back out there and play. Good here. Now he's got his helmet, if it fits.
Forgot his glasses.
They might need those, Red. I imagine if they come piling out of there, I don't believe that there's going to be a whole lot of tolerance exhibited, however, by the security forces, because everybody has been warned beautifully that security has been quadrupled. They are not going to tolerate it.
Well, I guarantee you, Keith, they'll be flowing over that right and left field wall. It's going to be.
Public address announcer was remonstrating with the fans. Please behave.
Lee Lacy up at the plate now with 1 run in for the Dodgers, 2 out and 2 on. Mike Torres trying to go all the way. There's a strike. 1-1. Dusty Baker at second base. Vic Davalillo at first base.
1 out is all they need. Any fly ball, anything. That's all they need. That's do it. That's going to do it. Torres gets it.
The Yankees win their 21st World Series.
We've traced them season-long for you. The ups and downs, emotionally and on the playing field. The way they came from behind to beat the Red Sox and the Birds. The way they came from behind to beat the Royals. And now this, the ultimate fulfillment for a controversial, deeply complex and sensitive man named Reggie Jackson, who burst forth with 3 home runs and became the most valuable player in the World Series. As you look at a relieved Billy Martin, knowing he's back next year, and Reggie will be back, and you're looking at Bill White down there in the clubhouse ready to take over as Commissioner Bowie Kuhn congratulates the winning manager.
The crowd pouring out. No way in the world to stop it. As the clock showed 10:43 p.m. October 18, 1977, the New York Yankees defeat the Los Angeles Dodgers 8-4.